We have been nomadic since 2018. For the past 3 years, we have been living in our self-converted ambulance throughout Canada, the US, and Mexico. That was up until 2 weeks ago, when we sold our home on wheels, leaving us with nothing but packed suitcases and a desire to see more of the world. So now here we are, in Estonia, a small country in Northern Europe, where we've rented a camper and we're ready to hit the road. Come with us as we try to figure out how to navigate van life in a different country. And of course, the first stop is the grocery store. Then you press this.
It's efficient. No, I'm sorry, I meant like it's safe to...
Yeah, wouldn't be van life without some baby wipes.
Have you thought about... I've got 2 salads. We've got our morning juices. We've got fruit. We've got our cabbage rolls, so we just need soup, and I think that's it. Should we get any other, like, if we're gonna have soup, do we do cabbage rolls and then like rolls?
So we're on a hunt for vegan stuff for our van, but like the grocery stores here have actually so many vegan options, and they're so clearly labeled. Like even in the pre-made section with the pre-made sandwiches, the pre-made everything, they have vegan versions, and we'll see what else we can find.
No, these are cocktail sausages. I have no idea where we're going. Holy shit, this makes me want cheap. This is pretty fire.
So after driving about 40 minutes from Tartu, we are pulling up at our first destination, and this is a stop we definitely did not make when we were doing van life in Canada. You'll see why.
We have arrived to our first destination, and this thing drove amazingly. Its name is Tibu. It means chick in Estonian, I think. So anyways, her name is Tibu. She drives super smooth, and that was a lot of fun. I'm really excited to drive this thing around Estonia, and I hope Rachel does too. She didn't really drive our ambulance much because it was quite large and I was just more comfortable driving it, and I usually like to drive, but I really want Rachel to drive this thing. Welcome to the Alatskivi Castle. Let's go.
Alatskivi Castle is a 17th century manor designed after Queen Victoria's Balmoral Castle in Scotland. Today, you can take tours of the manor and learn about the life and history of an aristocratic family and meet the various servants who worked in the manor a century ago.
The castle's main way of making money was actually vodka. They had a distillery a little bit further away from the castle because distilleries have a very high chance of exploding because you're working with a lot of flammable material. So this is actually the second castle, or like the second manor that the family ended up living in. The original manor, which was a little ways away from here, wasn't Lady Josephine's first choice. She didn't like it. She wanted a small white house, and this is what they came up with, a 74-bedroom manor surrounded by stables and distilleries and all kinds of other little structures that the servants would live in. So as I told Rachel, just give me like a few years and maybe I'll build her a small white home.
When I was learning about Josephine, I'm like, I think my husband's broken. Next, we were invited by Ergo and Benika to Turgi Wellness Farms for a 3-course organic meal.
So we're sitting down here enjoying a 3-course meal with the owners of this beautiful farm. We just finished our first course, which was a beetroot soup, which is unbelievable, like so good. So the main course is coming out next. I'm so excited to see what that's going to be, but this is so beautiful. Like the birds are chirping, you can hear woodpeckers, the wind is slowly blowing all the grass, and it's just like, it's something out of a movie. And most of the food here is grown or made right here on this farm, from the vegetables to the bread, even the lemonade that we have on the table as well. So very fortunate to be here and to be hosted by these people.
Here they typically host guests to teach weaving classes. So, of course, after our 3-course meal, we were about to try some weaving ourselves. hop in my car.
Holy.
Living life in luxury, baby. How many times have you guys seen me drive?
0, I think, is the answer.
No, maybe twice. Here.
I don't think you've ever driven the van. I don't think you ever did.
What? How do you think you got all those drone shots of the van driving? I drove every time. Oh, it's weird driving something this wide. Okay, so I just pulled off the road, and it looks like this is where, like, the Google Maps is saying that we're supposed to go down this dirt road and find a camping spot at the bottom of it. So you can find camping spots here on an app. I forget the name right now, but I'll put it on the screen. But so we're just following the Google Maps. I have no idea. It says it's 90 meters away, and I don't see anywhere to camp. So.
This is a weird role reversal kind of moment where I'm talking to the camera and Rachel's driving. This feels so weird, but we are trying to find a spot. We've driven down this kind of dirt road where we had a location pinned to what is apparently supposed to be like camping on the lake, but we can see the lake on the GPS, but just there's no route to get to it. On the road that we're on is just kind of like, it looks like it's like it kind of going parallel with the lake. So hopefully we can find some kind of a turnoff where we can get down there. Otherwise, maybe we'll look for another spot. We'd really like to have some kind of like a waterfront sort of spot. I think that would be nice, obviously.
Yeah, like I think you can camp anywhere. Like, as far as I understand, you can camp. Oh, is this the road?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Should we walk down it?
I can go down.
Okay, maybe let's walk down this.
I can go down it. Okay, so I just walked down this trail. It ends like right down there where you can kind of see. The trail just kind of ends. So maybe we won't drive down here. Also, I don't know if this is bear. Well, it's definitely not horse, because horse is like big pellets. That could be bear scat.
Because of Estonia's freedom to roam policy, everybody has the right to access nature, which means wild camping is free and easily accessible to anybody. Free campsites are even posted online on the Estonia website. We could have slept anywhere on this road, but because we knew there was waterfront spots around, we were determined to find one. We found a spot. The thing is about camping in Estonia is that there is a lot of free camping throughout the entire country. And now we just have to figure our tent out.
You don't unscrew them, they pull and then you twist them a little bit.
And of course the manual is in Estonian, which is a language that we unfortunately do not know. So, is Google Translate app, and then it will translating it into Spanish. Okay, that's not helpful. Oh, because the last time we used this was in Mexico, probably. Okay. 2 longer stakes hold the rain cover of the tent from the sides. Yeah, it's into the cover of the roof. Nick doesn't want to work with me, but wait till he finds out that it says the canopy must be opened by 2 people. Just like that.
Cheers, yo. I can't believe that we're in Estonia right now. Like, this is wild. Like, this is so gorgeous. It's a lot like home, kind of, but not. I don't know. This is seriously magical.
Wait, those are the same chairs that we had in our ambulance. And just like that, suddenly life feels Very familiar.
Too familiar.
A little bit too familiar.
I haven't slept in like an outdoor sort of tent setting in so long. I'm so like groggy, it feels like. So weird setting up this shot. I feel like I'm on Alone right now. If you've never seen the show, it's like a survivalist show. They basically send you out into like northern Canada where it gets really cold in like at like the start of winter. And you only have a bunch of camera equipment, and they like train you on how to use that camera equipment for like 2 weeks before they send you out. So when I was setting up this shot and I was like looking at my camo jacket and like obviously the beautiful scene behind me, I was like, oh shit, it feels like I just got dropped on Alone. Camera is close to dying. We'll have to run into town to charge our camera because we unfortunately don't have any kind of like a traditional sort of charger in the Jeep, so we'll also have to try and maybe sort that out today. The weather is like, I think it's like maybe 16 degrees. It only dropped to about 14 last night, which was totally bearable. Yeah, this is just like such a nice way to wake up. It's like so gorgeous here.
It just started pouring rain. So I'm grabbing cups here, Nick's finishing up, packing up our tent, and then we'll be on our way. You're getting absolutely drenched. I'm just out there too, but it's hard to film because our camera's dead and I also don't want our phone to get drenched, but it's soaking wet.
Turn this dark.
It's so bright.
I know.
This is like the contrast of where we're about to go versus me like getting changed in the car is to me very funny. We're living in a car. I was actually just saying to Nick earlier too, I'm like, because we just sold our van, it's actually crazy like going from a fully converted camper van, because I'm starting to realize all the luxuries that we had with full-time van life. It's just funny. I do love my life. It feels kind of crazy in moments like this.
The rain has been relentless ever since it started at our campsite this morning. I'm hoping when we use the tent again tonight, it's not wet. I think I put it back properly, but yeah, I hope that it's not wet inside. We went to Rakvere Castle.
But every time we said that, it's actually like Rakvere.
We'll put this proper spelling on the screen here. Basically, they made us try, what was it, like an ammonia sort of thing?
Yeah.
That's what you make gunpowder with, and it also, back in the medieval times, they would use it in place of salt because salt was very expensive. But yeah, you mix like the three things together. The person like lit it up on fire,
Ooh.
big cloud of white smoke. It was actually really cool.
Just poof.
Holy. There's like the three fears. The first one is the fear of torture, or like going to the executioner. The next one is the fear of death, and then there's the fear of hell, is what they based their torture chambers off of. These lights are going red. Yeah. So, but do you see anything?
Yeah, there's a train.
There's a train? No, there's not.
Down there.
No, there's not.
Oh. Okay.
I think it's actually good because there's a cover over it and the thing isn't down, so.
So I should go?
Yeah.
Let's go fast.
You're fine.
Okay.
We made it.
It was blinking red and I just went, so.
There was like a cover over the thing though. I think it was a cover because they probably, it's maybe.
Turn it off or something?
Yeah, there's maintenance or something going on. Now we are off to, oh god, how am I gonna say this one? Let me.
Okay, so this one, when I was saying it yesterday, I was certain I was saying it correctly, and each person that I spoke to didn't have any idea what I was talking about. I was saying it so wrong, it wasn't even funny. I mean, it was probably funny to them, but it wasn't funny to me, because I want to say, like, I don't want to say things wrong. That's not, we want to say things right, obviously, but Estonian's a very, very hard language. It's apparently one of the hardest languages in the entire world to learn.
So this is the name. We are going on a bog shoe hike, which it's like snowshoeing, except there's no snow clearly, and we are at a bog, so that would explain the name. And we're at this beautiful lake here. As we wish for, the rain let up, so let's do it. Our host took us through Kakerdaj Bog, which is named after the black-throated loon, which, fun fact, is the bird that makes this sound. The bog is the oldest organic landscape in Estonia, reaching in some cases up to 10,000 years of age. He pulled a beet out of the ground that is
700 years old.
And then he told us about bog mummies, otherwise known as bog bodies or bog people, which are naturally preserved bodies of humans that have been recovered from bogs because of how acidic and oxygen deprived the environment is, which was probably the most interesting but least settling thing that we learned about on our entire trip. That didn't stop Nick from drinking from the bog, because apparently the bogs have some of the most pure drinking water.
Wash your hands. Okay? Take the hole at first and wash your hands, because microbes are on your hands, not in the ground.
We learned so much about the bog. It feels like so alive when you're walking. I made a joke at one point, like I just wanted to lay on the bog and like, because it looks so like squishy and comfortable. And then I thought about it and I was like, it's kind of creepy actually. Like it's so alive. It's like calling me to lay in the bog and like it's gonna consume me. The roots of Estonian people are in nature, and so I must say that it felt right to be sleeping in the wild here. And so with a dead camera and a desire to disconnect from the internet, we'll see you next week.